incredibly fucking boring journey up the M1 A50 A515 and I'm at Darley Moor racing circuit, and there's no fucker here and the cafe's closed.
One eternity later.
Yes. Well folks, it's now about 15-20 minutes later. I've moved down to the entrance off the 515. I'm in a bit of a shade because it's actually quite warm. When the sun's on my head, I'm overeating and I don't want my brain to start working. So I've just moved down into a bit of shade. Just going to see if the lady I was going to meet turns up, because there's a chance she won't, and there's a chance she will, but she's got to come from Matlock, so I'm just going to hang around for a little bit until I hear from her or she turns up, and then make a decision on the rest of the day. But so far, yes, day not going to plan. I think that's the first time I've had Olive on the motorway, and she sits there all right. I need to sort out that temperature sensor though, because it was just below the red on the motorway. I don't think it's overheating. The only good thing about it is it will kick the fan on early, and then it will keep the fan on, which is not a problem. But yeah, I know you won't be able to see, but there are some green crusties on there. I may even just strip the radiator off, because the back of the fan's looking a bit crusty. Decrust things, get a new sensor on, we'll see. Yes, but yeah, on the dual carriageways and motorways didn't struggle at all really. I'm not so certain as it's got the proper rear sprocket on, because according to the service data this should do about 112, which means it should sit at a ton quite easily. But I was sat behind some cars, the speedo said I was doing about 80, and I was at 5,000 revs, and that the red line begins at 7.5, so I don't think this will do 112, but I'm not sure if that's the standard sprocket on the back. I'm going to have a look, because I've dropped one on the front and it's way better, but I've got a funny feeling that somebody's probably put a bigger sprocket on the back. I don't know, I would have to investigate. If I actually clean the sprocket, yes Jim, there will be a tooth number on it, and I'll compare to what it is. Nice. just got back, not in the best of moods. There's a couple of things I hate. One is having my time wasted, and the other two is waiting. But hey ho, lesson learned, never again. Anyway, when I pulled up to Darley Moor, when I turned the ignition off, because Oliver's been running warm, there was like this psh sound. I'm not doing it again. And you know, nothing's leaking. The expansion tank has the correct level in it and all that lot. And then all the way back, it's actually ran below 80, which is where it used to. So whether that's just burped a nice little air pocket out of itself, I don't know. But it's been running alright. So we've done 187 kilometres, which is it's about 110, 120 miles, and a waste of me time. 120 miles done. The fuel light's not on yet. I've not checked the fuel level, but it's been in top gear most of the time, and it definitely cruises better. Anyway, I still haven't had any breakfast, because as you'll see in the video, the fucking cafe was shut. So I'm going to have a can of shandy. I might even go down the shop and get a bottle of whiskey, because as far as this week's concerned, I am done with people.